Hi, this is Sherry Veronica, and with me in studio today is Patricia Benedict, and she wants to talk about something that she noticed today at Massey in Whole Town. Patricia, welcome into the studio.
Hi, Miss Renika. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I was about to go inside of Massey's supermarket, and I saw this police officer in plain clothes.
Do you know his name?
No, unfortunately, I do not know his name, Miss Veronica. But when the video is gone out, the officials would know who he is.
Yes.
He's stationed, I think, at the Whole Town police station. So when I was going in, he was about to come out through the door with one of those big blue books I have seen they have at the police station. But I think it's even bigger, Miss Veronica. Probably the biggest blue book I've ever seen. And he was not only coming out with that book, he had a flat black thing. You know how a DVD player? It's really, so people in computers will know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know what it is. Very flat. But it has a cord and like you could plug it in. And I was suspicious about it because it's only when he looked back, Miss Veronica, I started recording him through the glass. But I could not see him because when I looked, he was hiding behind one of the walls. So when he realized I recorded him, he walked away, Miss Veronica, and then I saw the blue book and the black thing. I sent you the vehicle and the registration number plate and everything. He put it in.
But people are going to say, "Why were you recording him?" People are going. I could tell I can almost predict what the comments are going to say.
Miss Veronica, I have had thing with him personally. When he had one of the officers, the security men at safe at Whole Town, Massey Whole Town, followed me and my son everywhere I went until we got to the check-in point. And I had to tell the officer, I did a voiceover about it before, that was harassment. And he was the one that called me a name. I don't know if I could say it, but he called me a name. Okay. That same officer.
Okay.
But what I want to bring to the people's attention to Miss Veronica, the importance of that. I have been speaking about certain things for years, and people who know me know what I'm talking about. You probably can't see it on YouTube about the different devices and stuff, and how the police certain people gave people devices and stuff like that. Now that same blue book, Miss Veronica, I saw it there was this officer with a van, one of the vans, at the Grapevine, which allegedly was owned by Massey. It's not there no more. He had the same, when he opened the van, he had that same blue book. Now, 2 or 3 days before that, this young lady's place that sells the fruits, her place was thing twice. I don't know if I could use the word ransacked twice. And they had the footage of who did it. One was an individual called David Small Sluggy, and the other was Anderson Collin. And you never heard nothing about that. They weren't charged nothing regarding those situations. Now, why I'm concerned about it, Miss Ferrin, this particular thing, is my suspicious of the officer. He went to great lengths. Because I was concentrating too on the vehicle, that he went all the way around behind the bus stop and went all the way around the main road and walked all the way around, probably going behind Massey, so that I wouldn't further record him, Miss Veronica. I have been talking about government devices for years, Miss Veronica. Now, I have heard allegedly the head of security is a police officer. I have been hearing that for years. Now, what questions? And I know Mr. The top would know already what's going on. But what I want the public to be aware and what I want to ask is, why would he have that big blue book? And it has nothing that happened at Massey, Miss Veronica, like we've had a conversation before. Because they have a way where you put it in a special phone or a phone when you have, like, when something happens, or one of them small books. So why was he going into his car with this big book and some lots floating like a device thing? Did it have the copies of the footage of Massey for the overnight? Is that the police job? If it's so, and I'm asking questions, is it the police job to do that? To see what, and where is he going to do it? And that's why I've always told the government, is he going to use the government, whatever he's going to use, is it going to be used at the government expense? I have been speaking about that for years, and to see it happened. And I have sent a few emails to the Prime Minister, AG, the Commissioner, suggesting to have those people removed from moonlighting at all Massey supermarkets.
So let me ask you a question. If he took some surveillance documentation or tapes from Massey, is it to protect himself or someone he knows, or is it for evidence? What do you think it is? I'm missing something here. Is it for evidence?
I'm thinking, right? They have footage. It's like this is his second job, and I'm just assuming anybody could correct me if I am wrong, right? That's why we have in a conversation. He is to look at everything that happened the day before or through the night. That is only what I am speculating at, Miss Veronica.
What do you mean he's supposed to look at it? You mean look at it via the surveillance tapes?
Yes.
So if he's moonlighting, is he not on the floor, or is he in the office somewhere looking through a window where people can? Let
me give you a joke. And you won't believe me.
But I'm asking you about the moonlighting. I really.
He's on the floor. He's on the floor.
So if he's on the floor, he can't be. He can't be really be looking at tapes if he's on the floor and keeping his eye on things. So if he took listen for one moment. If he took surveillance tapes, like I'm saying, it could be either for evidence or to protect someone. So what do you think it's for? That was my question.
It is for the it is general, Miss Veronica. It is to see who and what they could see on the footages. But let me give you an example. I want to cut you, but let me give you an example. You remember the incident that happened to me in front of Massey?
Yes.
I am telling you that the evidence, you could never find the evidence there anymore, Miss Veronica, because what had happened is that when Court Marshal Small did what he did to me at the front of my entrance of Massey, you know where he went? He went straight into Massey and didn't come out for hours, because I was out there. Didn't come out for hours, Miss Veronica, and I have to question, what did he go to do in Massey?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Did your attorneys ever request surveillance for that particular time and hour and day or whatever from Massey?
I can answer that. He was charged, Miss Veronica.
I'm asking you a question.
No. Because he was charged for that.
I ask you a question. Did your attorney?
No, I didn't have an attorney at that time, because I was going through a lot. But listening, he was charged. So the prosecutor should have been the one, and that's why I just monitoring things, Miss Veronica. The prosecutor, who is supposed to be not representing me, but the government or whoever is representing, and he was charged, should have been the one to have that evidence.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. You mentioned that he went back into Massey's store and he was in there for hours, and you gave me, I'm not talking about anyone else who's listening to this, you gave me the impression that he was in Massey's store probably to confiscate the tape so that he would not be seen on it body slamming you. I thought that's what you meant. So if he was charged, that means he did not accomplish what he wanted to accomplish then, correct?
Because no, he didn't. Because certain people had to get involved, Miss Veronica. If certain people did not get involved, and I showed them the evidence, and that's why evidence is very important.
So what was your evidence?
When I went to Marcy, the manager at Marcy, he is telling me he didn't see anything.
So what was your evidence? Wait, when you were body slammed, what was your evidence that you show?
I had the injuries. I had witnesses, Miss Veronica, and I had the injuries.
Okay, it's good to know that. Okay.
I had really bad injuries. I still have the pictures of it, Miss Veronica.
Okay.
And stuff, and the medication and stuff.
Okay.
But I approach, and you see how, and not only that, to Miss Veronica. That day, I don't want to go too far. But that day when the incident happened in Court Martial Small, there was another officer there moonlighting right. They came right by the door and saw what happened.
So that means that even makes it even. Yeah, so it makes it even worse then, because it was Court Martial Small, and then it was the other officer, and both of them cannot confiscate because it seems that way they cannot take the surveillance tapes away so that you cannot use them as evidence. So you had to have you were lucky that you have witnesses, but yet this one man that you're seeing you saw this today, and you're saying that you're not sure, but he probably has surveillance from Massey, and we don't know what he's doing. You said it's general. He's using it for just to look through to see. So I don't know.
I would say allegedly.
Okay.
But I have seen, like I said to you, I have seen that a big blue book like that, and the grapevine, which allegedly owned by Massey. Mm-hmm. With a police officer in uniform, Miss Veronica, this time, in one of those vans. Because when he opened the van, the first thing I saw is the big blue book. Mm-hmm. And that incident happened 2 or 3 days when it was circulating, and the woman, I did a voice note saying that the lady said that she saw the footage of when Anderson Collin and David, aka Small, it showed that they broke into her thing, Miss Veronica.
Her fruit stand.
Yeah, her fruit stand. Sorry, when she was operating opposite the medical center, and that's what that's what that came to mind when I say that same big blue book the officer had underneath his arm. You could see it partially, because I took a screenshot of it. But what you didn't see is that the black thing he had beneath the blue book.
Okay.
And all I'm saying is that the authorities should investigate that, because I have been talking about devices for years, and I know what I'm saying, and I know what I'm talking about. But
so you're saying
on YouTube.
You're saying that the authorities should investigate what? What should they investigate?
Because officers are not supposed to, in general, are not supposed to moonlight.
But that can't be true, because many of them do. But go ahead.
Yes, the blue book. Why did he have that blue book? And why did he have the device, whatever you want to call it? What purpose did he have it for? Because when he saw me, he went to great lengths, Miss Veronica, because I didn't show you when he was running, because I was concentrating on the number plate. He was actually running to avoid me, to recording him. So why? What was the purpose? And there's a lot of things I cannot share. I will do voice notes of I can't share over YouTube.
It's starting to rain.
And I will wrap it up soon. Okay. Talking about Computer Misuse Act and all those things, Miss Veronica. Mm-hmm. But who is the worst culprits, Miss Veronica? The police.
Okay.
The police.
Okay.
But that's all I have to say, Miss Veronica.
Thank you, Patricia. This is Sherry Veronica, Naked Departure Radio.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.